Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And first of all, I certainly want to associate myself with your remarks. We all have Alcee Hastings stories, and I had the privilege of serving with him every day that I've been in Congress and on this committee for almost 10 years. And while I have a lot of respect for everybody on this committee, most of the people that are here over the years are here partly because they are not only passionate in what they believe, they're awfully good at expressing what they believe. I don't think anybody matched Alcee Hastings in terms of sheer eloquence when he was on a roll. And he's certainly the only member of this committee I ever dreaded going into a debate with because you were going to get verbally drubbed pretty good, and you knew that he was going to make his points not only with passion, but with precision and clarity. He really was a superb debater, as we all know. But more than that, he was just a superb human being. He was a wonderful colleague. I admired him every day that I served with him, but probably never more than I watched him carry on as he was in this heroic struggle with cancer. And to see him show up day after day when he could on the floor in situations where I know I would not have been here, and I suspect most of us would not have been here, was just a remarkable testament to his courage and to his commitment to this institution. As you pointed out, Mr. Chairman, he was here long enough to serve in both the minority and the majority, and so he knew what it was up like to be on the upside of this and to walk through the valleys that we all go through. But he never lost his sense of humor. And he never failed to come over and congratulate you after he was done, beating you into the ground verbally when you were on the floor. And his wit and his sense of knowing when to speak and honestly when not to, of knowing what points would be effective, were just remarkable. I knew a lot about him. Before I got here, I actually was the executive director of the was elected in 1992. And I remember telling him later, I said, well, just remember, we didn't spend any money against you. And he immediately quit back. That's because you couldn't beat me, which was, of course, true. He was, quite remarkable in his political skills. That's what I was astonished when I was reading one of his obituaries. He'd actually lost 8 elections, to various offices before he won in Congress. And that just tells you something about the sheer drive that he had, that he was willing to put himself in the arena again and again to make the points that he thought were important. And while he was passionate domestically, I think we all know he was one of the most knowledgeable people we had on the international scene as well. Wonderful person to travel with, wonderful person to talk about America's role in the world with, and somebody that always had an insightful point to make. So I'll miss him. I'll miss, as you pointed out, his decency, his good humor, his civility, his sheer talent in expressing the things that he believed and representing the causes with which he was associated with such great vigor and such great dignity and such great effectiveness. There's a number of people I think of when I think of, boy, that's a model member of Congress. And Alcee Hastings was one of those people. They don't have to be on your side for you to admire them and admire the manner in which they conduct themselves. Again, so speaking for our side, I know he was very beloved. I know it'll come a shock to you. Not all of you are, as I suspect is true when you think about our side. But Alcee Hastings was liked by both sides of this institution, and was admired by both sides of this institution. So I share your grief for his family and for his many, many friends of both sides of the aisle. And I share your admiration, Mr. Chairman, for his commitment of service to this institution, to the people that he represented, but more deeply to the people all across the country. I think of him as a national congressman with a national following and national points to make. And while he represented his area very, very well, he was never parochial. He found ways to address causes that were greater than his district and causes that were worthy for all of us to be focused on. So I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss his humor and his decency and his fellowship. and just the sheer pleasure of serving each and every day with him, either in this committee or on the floor of the Congress of the United States, where he acquitted himself in a manner that could make all of us proud, serving in the same institution with him, and make all of his constituents proud of the kind of person and the kind of voice that he represented for them in the deliberations of Congress. So I share your grief and again associate myself with your remarks. We'll all miss Alcee Hastings.
I thank the gentleman for his